Hello friends and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are now getting inside of module 7. This module is going to be on AI and ML. It's a very interesting thing today. A lot is happening in this domain. Let's get started. So in this module, we are going to start with a bit around what is AI and ML, and we're going to understand some basics with respect to machine learning, some terms around it, and then we will actually look at different machine learning options in GCP. This is very basic, right? This is not going to make you a machine learning expert, but this is just very basic information to help you, with the exam questions you can get. So let's get started. So very common thing today to talk about AI and ML, and this is also very common right nowadays. People understand the difference also very well between what is AI and what is ML. But just because we're starting with this module, right? I wanted to cover this. So artificial intelligence primarily is like the science. Okay, it's like the physics, and machine learning. It's the application of physics, you could say. So, at the core of it, artificial intelligence means that you want machines to think like human beings. That is what AI is all about. Now, when you say machine learning, it's all about giving a problem statement with lot of data to machine learning and making it solve for us, right? So that's the idea behind machine learning. So generally, when you say machine learning, it's focused on data-driven things. You already have data with you, and you feed it to machine learning, and machine is supposed to learn. So the algorithm basically learns from the data and then produce insights from it, right? So that's about machine learning. So generally, what kind of problems we want to solve with machine learning, right? So one kind of a problem is regression. Now, what is regression? Regression is to figure out values. Okay. So, for example, I want to predict what will be the cost of a house in Mumbai after 10 years, right? So I will feed maybe last 50 years or 20 years data to machine learning, how rates have grown with time, and then it can predict the future cost according to that. So that's what regression gives you a value back, okay, with the system. That's what is the idea behind the regression. Now, what else? We have classification. Classification is a binary output. It can be multi-classification also, where you may have 3 or 4 items you want to classify from. So it's like whether it's going to rain or not. Yes, no kind of a classification, or So that's it's the idea behind it. You can have multi-class also, maybe more than two also you can do with it. But the idea is you are not predicting a specific value. You are just classifying whether it's A, B, or C. That's the kind idea behind the classification. A third thing you will commonly come across in machine learning is clustering. Now, clustering is generally when you have unsupervised machine learning. Now, what is unsupervised and what is supervised? So, in supervised learning, okay, we have the data and we give the data to machine learning. Okay, so we have some values. Like for example, in regression, I said gave an example of uh, housing cost in Mumbai after 10 years. So I have the housing cost area wise, location wise, square feet rates for Mumbai city for last 20 years, and I feed that, and then it gives me an output. This is supervised learning. Okay, it has certain data which it can use to test whether the logic is correct or not, and that is what is the supervised learning. In unsupervised learning, there is no data available. You just have items and you give it to a machine learning model to figure it out. So in that case, what best you can do is it can cluster the data saying that okay, these items are similar, these items are similar, these items are similar. And that is what clustering is all about. Right? So it is all that is falls under the unsupervised learning, machine learning. Now let's start with what Google Cloud has to offer us. Now Google has a huge AI solution set with them. They have Vertex AI, which is an entire platform that helps you, do the machine learning. You have different types of AI solutions which you can build and run in GCP, and some of it is what we are going to discuss as a part of this module. So what Google has done is they have brought in the entire tooling around AI in one platform which they call it Vertex AI. So generally what happens is when you want to build, run and deploy AI models, you need to do lot of groundwork to get to the result. You need compute, you need storage, you need to build a process of how data is going to be abstracted from one place, loaded at the second place, you know, do the model, get the output, run the model somewhere. So all that is made very simple with Vertex AI. It's a hosted platform, right? So you just go ahead and you deploy your models very seamlessly. So we're going to see this. We're not going to do the deployment of it, but we're going to see how the UI looks like in some time. But this really makes life very, very simple to implement AI in GCP. That's the best part of it. All right, so I'm inside the Vertex AI. If you want to reach here, just Google for Vertex. Sorry, just type in Vertex and click on it. The result you should be in this interface. Uh, so this is our entire platform, serverless platform for machine learning. Everything what you need is available over here for you to do machine learning, right? So your model garden, right, is kind of a plethora of machine learning models available for you. So you can get any of these models and start using those over here. So these are all the models which it's available over here to import and to consume, right? So these are all the possible models over here for us to consume. So that's your model garden. We have pipelines over here next. So generally, whenever we do machine learning, right? So to start with, you have to get the data, process the data. If get data requires processing, and then use it for machine learning. And once you are done with inferencing, once you have the model in place, we host the model and then serve the model, right? So because either you do batch or streaming processing also of it. So request comes and then you respond with the prediction of it. So that entire process, right, you can simply get it done with a template over here. So it gives you templates to, deploy the pipelines directly. You don't have to, really put a lot of effort in getting things done over here. And your templates and pipelines will take care of things for you out of the box. Right? So that helps you with getting the pipeline in place very easily. Next section, what you see is notebooks, where you have a workbench which gives you Jupyter notebooks at your disposal to launch and run the machine learning from there. So a lot of people prefer Jupyter notebooks for doing machine learning because you can put code in cell and execute cells of code very easily. So that's also available in case you want to use workbench. It's at your disposal over here to implement that. Now, Vertex AI Studio is for generative AI. So this is the entire generative AI section which is there, which includes your text generation, image generation, and speech generation also. So that's again something which they have added inside Vertex AI with generative AI to be at your disposal to be implemented in your projects. Next thing which I want to highlight is your data sets. So this helps you with AutoML. So now in with AutoML, right, I will explain what AutoML does little later. But let's say you want to do, you have your own trained data, right? You have your own training data, and you want to leverage on, Google's API for that, right? For various different requirements, you could use AutoML from here as well. So you could create a data set and train your AutoML model directly from here. It can help you with training. You can experiment with the model, and at the end, you can deploy the model over here also. So once you are done, you can deploy the model and you can make online predictions from it. So the entire process of getting the model over here and implementing it is all taken care inside a single interface. That's the beauty of the Vertex AI platform. All right, so let's take up a few APIs now. We start with natural language API. So natural language API is generally helpful for sentiment analysis and syntax analysis. So generally, if what is the use case of it? You want to understand whether the customer is happy or not, right? You can send it to natural language API and it will extract out the emotions and let you know what are the sentiments of the customer. So entity and sentiment analysis is what natural language can help you with. Okay, let's see this in a console. All right, so I am inside the Google Cloud product page of Natural Language API. This API primarily helps you to do sentiment analysis, and there is a ready demo over here which I've clicked on, and it is read through this paragraph which was already pre-populated, done its analysis, and showing you over here. It will show you the sentiments, how it is. It will give a score for it. Right? So he says, okay, Sundar Pichai had his keynote. Users love their Android phones. So moderation, in case it finds anything content deteriorated or insulting or something, it will show you. So it can show that the rating is very, very low. So probably the content is not bad, falls under any such categories. And it also breaks up what kind of category the speech is, the material is given. So it is basically for sentiment analysis, right? So that's your natural language API which is available for it. AutoML with natural language. Now, wherever you see AutoML with a API, right, for machine learning, it is generally, the same APIs which Google has, right? You are going to train once again on that model with your data instead of Google's data. So Google has already trained the model with its own data. Now you are kind of retraining it with your own data so that it is more relevant for your use case. And that is what is AutoML with natural language. Vision API. So Vision API is a very powerful solution which Google has built over a period of time. You can upload any image to Vision API and it will actually analyze it. It will do label detection. It will extract text and give it to you. It will do so that's what is all about the Vision API. I'll show you a demo on Vision API, but before we do that, right, I just also want to talk about what is AutoML Vision API. So as I said, AutoML Vision API is, using the same API, but this time training it on your particular data set. So let's say you are a manufacturer of some product and you want to train the same Vision API to detect fault in your product. So you will have to give your data set where you have, labels on what is a good product and what is faulty product. Once you train on it, it can detect the faulty product and point that out to you. So that's the idea behind the AutoML Vision API. We'll see AutoML in the Vision API in the screen also, in the console also. All right, so I'm going to try out the Vision API, and if you want to try this out, just Google for try Google Vision API, and it will give you the page for it. So if I go back, I'll tell you what I looked for. GCP Vision API demo. Try Google Cloud Vision API. Look for this. Okay, and I'm over here. I'm going to upload this image of a cat to confirm that I'm not a bot. All right, so it's 97% sure that's a cat. Okay, and show the JSON document which it generates. So if you're using its API, this is how it will response back to you. Right. So this is how the Vision API works. It will label and it will see this is all its labels it is generated out of it from the single image. You can see that. You can check, it shows the dominant colors and whether it's safe, what is the likelihood of it being not safe, kind of. It is scanning for all that. All right, so that's, I just wanted to demonstrate how the Vision API looks like to you. Well, next we have speech to text and text to speech API also available. You also have translate API. I have not put a slide for that, but I just want to emphasize that you also have translate API accessible to you. You can use that as well. Speech to text, text to speech, the word says what it is. You give the text, it will generate the audio and give it to you. You give the audio, it will generate that text and give it to you, right? Both ways it can be used, right? So this is also accessible to us. I'll show this in the console. All right. So we are inside the speech section. If you want to come over here, just type speech on the search bar. It will take you to this audio to text and text to audio. There are two things in this. You have synthesize, which is you type in, text, and then you can select the voice you want to use with it. So I generally like the WaveNet B, and then you can choose. There are a lot of them. You can ask it to synthesize, and you get the audio over here, which you can download. Right? So this is something which you can, do with the speech to text. And the other way, transcribe is also possible. You can upload the audio file. It will generate the text out of it, and it will give it to you. Right. So both ways it is possible to do it. Next thing is tensors and TensorFlow to understand. Now, TensorFlow is an open source machine learning library which was a huge contribution by Google, okay, into this, and basically it is for numerical computation. Now, tensors are multi-dimensional arrays used by machine learning. So, in simply, if I have to explain this right, you have x-axis and y-axis in the graph, right? So you just imagine that there are lot more axes when it comes to using TensorFlow. So hundreds of them you could imagine as so many of them. So that's what is all about, multi-dimensional arrays for computing, right? That's what it offers. So tensors are, just keep this in mind. Exam can test your knowledge on this. So it's a multi-dimensional arrays used in machine learning, and TensorFlow is your open source library for it. Helps you do efficient computing with various hardware. Right? So that's a bit around the tensors and TensorFlow. So the tensors and TensorFlow are part of your software's hardware part is your TPU, Tensor Processing Unit. Right? So they are optimized for high throughput and low latency computing. Generally helps you with your machine learning libraries. It's a custom hardware designed by Google for machine learning, and it's available through your Google Cloud platform. All right. So the big buzzword in the industry, right? Generative AI. So generative AI, what is generative AI? First of all, till now we have been using machine learning to, get numerical values out or binary values out or for clustering. So that was the most common use case around machine learning solutions. What generative AI does is it generates text, music, images, right? So it can do that kind of a work. We'll not get inside how generative AI works in this particular training, but just to be aware that Google also has, Gemini as a model, which is very popular. You might have come across while doing Google search, right? And you also have an integration of generative AI in GCP. I'll just show you that. Now, inside the Vertex AI Studio, right, you get this Gemini model ready to use. You can use it to, translate text, generate images, convert and synthesize speech. So all that is also doable with it. Along with that, you can come up with your own chat bots and chat models. You can integrate that with your application. You can just, send in the prompt and it will reply that back to you like you would do with, other LLMs like ChatGPT and Meta and all, right? So I can do that here with inside GCP as well. And the main idea is that, you can integrate this with your application. So if you have some, customer service application or some product which you sell and you want to build a chatbot, which is run by AI, right? You can build your model on top of this model, and that will help you serve your customer better, right? So that's the idea behind it. I'll just say, uh, give me steps to perform demo using Vertex AI Studio. All right, so I'm just asking how should I use Vertex AI, and it's building a response for me. I'm not going to take away too much time on this, but I can generate images also from here. A lot can be done. So just this is not going to come in exam. It's pretty new, but just wanted to show you that this is already there over here to see. We spoke quite a bit about AutoML, right? That we have AutoML for vision, we have AutoML for the sentiment analysis, the natural language API, which is there, right? So, how this work? Where is it? So, what happens is you can create and train new models from your data set directly using the UI. Just, you can use AutoML over here, select that for your trading model, select the data set. So I don't have any data set over here to move forward from here. But what happens is, if let's say if I want to use uh, image recognition, right? I can copy the images inside cloud storage bucket, upload the Excel file with labels that what is what let's say if I have damage and proper goods, right? So what is damage and what is proper, I can put those labels in it, and then I can attach the data set, move forward with it from here, and the wizard will help me, do the machine learning and training the model and serving the model directly. No need to write the code absolutely over here. Just the UI can do things for you. So that's the idea behind it. With the AutoML, it leverages the base model of Vision API, Natural Language API, even structured data. We can use tabular data also with your AutoML and do it over here. So basically, with this right service in place, machine learning can be typically done by anyone. You just need to understand how to go and where to click for it, and you are not writing a single piece of code and just doing things for you. That's the beauty of the AutoML service. ML ops. Let's start with a small example over here that I want to, do recommendation on my e-commerce site, like how it works with Amazon and Flipkart, right? I want to do that. So generally what has happened is that I will periodically retrain my model with the new update. So, with whatever, if a person buys A and then, if the person goes and buys B also with it, I want to use that information to recommend that to someone else also. So, I want to ongoingly run this pipeline that new data comes in, it update, new data is again used to retrain the model, it is tested again, and then if the model is better than the previous one, then it is used to serve the customers, right? So ML ops is all about building a pipeline, how we have CI/CD pipeline. That is how you build also your ML pipelines. Now, of course, any kind of pipeline you build, you have to set up the flow. You have to have a source of data. You have to have a cleaning process or whatever is required behind it. Do all that, and then at the end serve the model with it, test it, and then finally serve the endpoint. Deploy the model on some endpoint and serve it from there. This whole process, right, is seamlessly handled by Vertex AI pipelines. You don't have to do anything. The ready templates. Just see the template which makes a fit of your for you, and then apply that template. So 90% of your effort, anyways, is taken care by Vertex pipelines. You don't need to really do any kind of effort for it. So automates, orchestrates in a scalable way. Really very powerful service. And the way entire Vertex AI is built is that you don't need to be a programming expert, a data scientist, or a machine learning expert to actually implement machine learning. It is bringing machine learning for everyone to implement and use. We covered overall AI services in GCP. We talked about Vertex AI, AutoML, and ML pipelines. I hope you all enjoyed this session. We will now do the Q&A. Question 1. Your organization needs to categorize objects in large group of static images using machine learning. Which Google Cloud product or service would your organization use? Option A, BigQuery ML. Option B, AutoML Video Intelligence. Option C, Cloud Vision API. Option D, AutoML Tables. So we have discussed this. It is option C, Vision API. There are a couple of other products which are listed in this, which we have not covered, but I will talk about them at the end of the Q&A. Question 2. An organization wants to use multiple marketing datasets to forecast user acquisition. How should they use cloud technology to gain insights from the data? A. Import datasets into a custom data warehouse and then archive the old data. B. Import and selectively archive the datasets in a custom data lake. Option C. Separate the datasets and make predictions using machine learning. Option D. Combine the datasets and make predictions using machine learning. Well, we have not spoken anything on this, but what this question is saying that you have multiple sets of data and you want to gain foresights for customer acquisition. So, what is the best thing which you should do for machine learning? Now, generally speaking, the more data you have, right, it is better to train a machine learning model. Okay, and that is why option D is the most appropriate answer in this. Combine the data sets and make predictions using machine learning. And if you look at it from the other perspectives, most of the other options don't make much sense also. Import the datasets, option A I'm reading, import the dataset into custom warehouse and then archive the old data. Okay, so first import them and then archive them. So that's one really, if you want to do machine learning, then why would you archive it, right? So that's a little off kind of option. Option B, import and selectively archive the datasets in custom data lake. You don't need a data lake in this case, right? It's for unstructured data. So that's option B is kind of invalid. Option C, separate the dataset and make predictions using machine learning. So separate the datasets and make. So how you have not given anything about dataset also, that why you would separate something out of it. So the appropriate answer itself is option D. So rest of them actually don't even make much sense. So right answer is your option D. Question 3. An organization is searching for an open source machine learning platform to build and deploy custom machine learning application using TPUs. Which Google Cloud product or service should the organization use? So I think it's a giveaway in this. They've already spoken upon TPU in the question. They're giving you a hint. They are talking about the custom machine learning model which you want to build. So that can be done with an open source library that is at TensorFlow. Now, other options, option B, which is BigQuery ML. You can do machine learning in BigQuery ML. It will provide a compute model. You will have to still write in TensorFlow. Okay. And you'll have to import that in BigQuery and use it over there. Vision API is for image recognition. AutoML Vision again is image recognition, but trained on your data, not on the Google's data. I mean, along with Google's data, you could say, but it's your data that is used by AutoML to train your model. but both are for your images, C and D. Right? So the right answer is option A. An organization needs to categorize text-based customers' reviews on website using pre-trained machine learning model. Which Google product or service should the organization use? A. Cloud Natural Language API. B. Dialogflow. C. Recommendations AI. D. TensorFlow. So we've already spoken about this. When it comes to sentiment analysis, right? We already have natural language API for it, so we'll be using that over here. Your answer is option A. Question 5. Your organization wants to predict the behavior of visitors to its public website. To do that, you have decided to build a machine learning model. Your team has a database related skills but only basic machine learning skills, and you would like to use those database skills. Which Google Cloud product or feature should your organization use? Option A, BigQuery ML. Option B, Look ML. Option C, TensorFlow. Option D, Cloud SQL. So if you look at all the four options, right, I mean, to do machine learning, you could only do it with, you have two ways of handling this. You could use Cloud SQL could store the data, but in that case, to do machine learning, right, you would need to use compute as well as you would have to use machine learning libraries plus call some model and train it. So that would require a lot of skills. So option D is a lot of effort to get the done machine learning done, right? So versus your option A, BigQuery, right? If you know SQL, you can just use SQL statement to BigQuery. So your option A is the right answer. BigQuery ML. We have already spoken about this also. There is nothing as Look ML, so I think that's just vague term put over there to confuse. Uh, TensorFlow is for custom libraries, right? So you are not writing a model, but you've decided to use a machine learning model. So you will be, uh, not necessary, right? Every machine learning problem requires you to write and build your own machine learning model. You're trying to predict customer behavior. You can try with the existing models which are there, right? So you can call in the model using BigQuery and do in the BigQuery ML itself. So that's the right approach. So your option is right answer is your option A. Which Google Cloud service or feature lets you build machine learning model using standard SQL and in a data warehouse? So this is very straightforward and simple. That's BigQuery ML, and that's your option A in this. So again, the answer is BigQuery ML. Question 7. An organization is training machine learning model to predict extreme weather events in the country. How should they collect data to maximize prediction accuracy? Collect all the weather data evenly across all the cities. Option A, it was. Option B, collect all the weather data primarily from at risk cities. Collect extreme weather data evenly across all the cities. D, collect extreme weather data primarily from at risk cities. Okay, so I think cities word is missing in option D. It should end with cities. So see, as far as my logic goes in this, right? You are trying to predict extreme weather events in the country. And these events ideally will happen in the cities which are maximum at risk. So, ideal data for this kind of a prediction, according to me, is going to be to collect extreme weather data from primarily from cities which are at risk. Okay, so that should help to get the right data set to do the machine learning on top of it. According to me, right answer is option D. So some of the terms which were there in the question and answers, right, and I have not covered them in the module. I just wanted to cover those. So you have another machine learning service called Dialogflow. Now, what Dialogflow offers us to create conversational bots, right? So generally, when you are, nowadays getting bots on WhatsApp to talk, right? So banking and other products also have started using those. So it helps you build a general Q&A system, right? When you are raising a question and then it's answering you. So it basically converts a text and reads the question and then figures out the correct answer for it and replies back to you. So that's something which Dialogflow can help you build very easily. That's the service. Now, next is the recommendations AI. Okay, recommendations AI has been relabeled as recommendations from Vertex AI search. Okay, so that's a new name for it. But the idea is that it helps you build recommendation services or recommendations engine. So one of the examples I can give you is when you watch a movie on any of the OTT channels, it will recommend you another movie. So it assumes it somehow figures it out that you have liked movie A, then you like movie B also. That's a recommendation engine. Even when you buy on e-commerce, right, some site, you buy a product A, it will recommend that maybe you like to buy product B also. That also is a recommendation engine. Right? So that's what it helps you with. So it's making life easy for us. So you just have to upload the data set, configure things, and just that it will get you started very quickly on it. So that's your recommendation service in GCP. And video intelligence. Now, video intelligence is very similar to our Vision API. Vision API works with static images. Video intelligence works with videos. So that's the only difference between the two API. Rest everything it does the bounding boxes. It extracts information from the video. So all that can be taken care from your video intelligence API. That's it. Thank you. So you have completed the module 7 with me in this course. If you have still not subscribed, please do that. Do like and share with your friends and colleagues. Put in comments if you have how you have felt about the training, any doubts which you all have, and you want any explanation. Feel free to do that in the comments. I will try to answer those also. Once again, thank you so much, and see you in module 8.